Dear Earthmates, we are visiting Farabi Bin Zahir in Bangladesh. We got in touch a week or two ago, and uh, thank you for contacting me. I'm very happy to meet you.
Thank you, sir. Same to
Uh,
you, sir. It's been a pleasure for me to work with you or to talk with you.
Thank you. And you are a very dynamic person, very fruitful. Um, how would you describe yourself? You, you are
I'm Farabi. I'm from Bangladesh. I have been working as a freelance journalist and activist from 2019, basically. Before that, I did some work in peer-related work. I mean, public peer-related work. So after from 2019, I'm focusing on freelance journalism and activist. My the primary area of my write-up was mainly the political and social issue in Bangladesh. So, and I'm also another my my another yeah, I'm also an executive member of Anti-Terrorism and Communal Resistance Forum. I'm always been very vocal about the social issue of Bangladesh. I'm trying to stand against any irregularities, any discrimination which occurred in Bangladesh. So my though my educational background is not journalism or political science, I'm a business graduate, but still I'm trying to focus on this part. My In terms of my writing was published. Numerous writing was published from various prominent newspaper in Bangladesh like Prothom Alo, btnews24.com, Manav Kantho, Bangla Tribune, and so on. And in terms of the international publication, my write-up was published in Statesman, South Asian Monitor. It was South Asian Monitor, Statesman, Indian Express, and so on. So, um, as in terms of my religion, yes, I'm a by-born Muslim. I believe in Muslim ideology, but in terms of Muslim ideology, I believe in Sufism. We do not discriminate people. We believe in the inclusive society. We believe in peace and harmony. We try to accommodate every religion in under the one umbrella, and so yes, I also believe in the freedom of speech, freedom of press. But in terms of freedom of speech, I do not try to hurt um, another or my opponent ideology. I am always very careful regarding my opponent. My freedom of speech. When I'm practicing my freedom of speech, I always be very cautious that my my statement or my any statement of mine or any write-up of mine does not hurt anyone's ideology, does not hurt anyone's religion, or any I do not, or anyone's get offended. I always try to avoid attack anyone's personally. Yes, I have some ideologies. I When I criticize anyone's ideology, I try to be more I try to do more constructive criticism rather than destructive or just attacking him personally. Apart from that, what I'm trying to say that my father is was a freedom fighter, so I strongly believe in the spirit of liberation war in Bangladesh. I believe in secularism. I believe in harmony, peace, and I I do not uh, do not like to discriminate people in terms of um, race, gender, or religion, and so on. Actually, I really dislike any sort of racism. This is what I want to say regarding myself. And in terms of my activism work, I always try to, as I said before, I always try to stood up against any irregularities. You all. already go through you have already seen my CV. You'll find there. So I have made so many statements regarding any irregular issues or anything that is not that is against the humanity. I try to stand with the victim no matter what the religion or their race or whatever they have. I just I don't I take them as human, not anything else. Okay. Then this all about my work or my activism. If you have anything to say, you can ask me.
Thank you so much. Um, an interesting coincidence. My grandfather's father was a Sufi poet and traveler.
Okay.
Um,
So what was his name?
his name was, he lived in the 19th century. His name was Hacı Safvet, Hacı Safvet.
Okay.
And my grandfather was a thinker. Uh, um, anyway, I consider myself a naturalist. I think nature is interesting and rich, and thanks to science, we are learning more and more about it. And this universe is one of the adventures of nature. This is my assumption. I respect your approach. I agree. Um, uh, Ideas can be criticized, but people, human beings, concrete human beings, we are products of social relations, cultural, etc. So we should try to understand and communicate better. I think communication is the essence of, actually the word communication is nice in English because it is related to commune. Becoming a commune uh, needs communication, but unfortunately, people do not communicate well. There is a lot of miscommunication, non-communication, etc. So, to me, and I also learned a lot from Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi. Uh, 22 years ago,
He's from Turkey.
yes, yes, from yes, and
Another Sufi is infamous in Turkey called Shams Tabriz.
yeah,
The
Shams, he visited Mevlana, but he was from Tebriz, I think, in Iran now.
Okay.
Yes, um, I wrote a play about them. By the way, I'm working on it still. Um, Now, when you look at the world, um, uh, uh, how can we improve multicultural communication? You are doing that, but uh, how can we achieve a global peace? How can we transcend uh, obstacles? What is your thought about this?
Well, it's my personal opinion. What I think we need to have patience. We are being so reactive and restless nowadays. We do not have time to listen another. We love to just speak and speak. When you listen to another, you have to be when you listen to another, you can realize what people are saying, what is their deficiency, and you can answer them accordingly. But we are becoming so restless. We are just trying. We just love to say what we have. We do not have time to say people what people has. That is that the we do we have to be proactive, or we have to be very good listener before we speak. Number one. Number two, we have to read. We do not read. We have lack of reading. There can be so many reasons that we do nowadays we do not love to read. We do not now love to acquire knowledge. Rather than we just focus on populistic thing like TikTok and all these things, and it creates unrest. It creates unrest among the society. We just we love to follow those things, uh, which uh, which are called populistic thing. We love to be popular rather than knowledgeable. And we love to go to the shortcut things. We always search for shortcut. Please don't go for shortcut.
Yes,
Try to respect the your opponent, what's the opponent ideology or opponent statement. Try to focus what they are saying, what are the lackings of the information they are not getting, and due to that lackings, they are saying this. Please work on that. Next thing is, uh, try to just remember one thing: you cannot wipe out anything with anger, with war, or any sort of what's the fighting. If you find any ideology is incorrect, you have to give another ideology which is correct. If you do not give them option, if you do not give them the way, you just try to push pressure on them, you cannot wipe out any ideology. Yes, in terms of terrorism, if you take it terrorism as an example, we all are saying terrorism is bad, but did we dig in why people are involving in terrorism? How you can rehabilitate them? Instead of saying, you just surprise them that you are terrorist, you are not allowed. And when you surprise anyone, when you push anyone from your society, they become annoyed, they become furious, and they come up with, because they think we have nowhere to go, we have nothing to do. So what else? Just fight it, fight it with on fight it with till our last breath. This is not the solution.
I agree.
So
Um,
you have.
I was invited to Bangladesh in early 2018 by my dear friend Shahryar Kebir, and
Mm,
there was a poetry festival there. I attended the festival, and there was presentation about um, Mevlana Celaleddin Rumi, and I was the keynote speaker. And I have great respect for Bangladesh. I love the Bangla people, and I even wrote a very short poem in Bangla using the very few words that I learned, and I was
mm.
helped. And and uh, a lot of people speak Bangla, right?
Yes,
About 300 million people, something like that. A lot of people.
yes,
And the population of Bangladesh is huge, isn't it? 180
yes,
million or something.
yes. Almost.
Yes, and uh, uh, you, how did you learn English?
Oh well, I know my English is not that much good. I
Well,
mean,
it's good. It's good. Uh, it's a word.
well,
I mean, uh, you communicate, you
I
express yourself well. When
I learn English. I
yes,
learn English from my school, universities. I mean, my educational institution, basically.
very good. And have you had a chance to go to some other countries?
Not really. I have been in India, Thailand, Nepal, Bhutan, and these are the countries that I have visited.
I have never been to those countries. I want to visit, yeah, India, Nepal, and Bhutan.
You must visit India and Nepal. These are the two countries really fascinating. You like it.
Yes. Um, when I look at the world, there are a lot of cultural differences and a lot of experiences, a lot of experiments have been made.
But the main problem is that, sorry for interrupt you, we have so many culture, but the thing is that we do not have respect for the culture. If we I have one culture, but I should have respect for the other culture as well. We just try to make it, or we just try to prove my culture is best and your culture is worst, and that makes the difference. That creates the conflict. That creates the fight. But
That's right.
if we should have, yes, I have my culture, it is enriched culture, your culture is good, you follow your culture, I respect your one, but I'll follow my one. If you have that approach, then there should be no conflict, there should be no I mean, fight or whatever.
True. And also intercultural communication helps us change too. I mean, I have a lot to learn from the Bangla culture, for example. I'm open. Um, I try to improve myself all the time to become a world citizen, a good Earthmate, as you know. And that's why we have this Earth Civilization Network. It can be a good example, I hope. People from various different cultures coming together and being human and being on the same planet are the two main common denominators, of course, and we learn. We sincerely try to understand what's going on, and we try to contribute life to become better. One of the things when I look at the world is in the East, usually take Sufism and yoga, meditation. Uh, these are to improve oneself, to improve to as a human being, right? And in the West, we see that um, political organizations, complex social, political, economic organizations uh, have uh, progressed. And if we combine the human development, personal development, taking the Sufi approach, the Stoic also approach, uh, and yoga, etc., etc. And if we combine it with the um, um, complex uh, economic, political lessons, then we can build a better world. I think we need both individual
Yes, we need more.
improvement and in your life, I see that you are doing it with in your life. You're always developing yourself, and you're always contributing to the world through your writings and
Thank you.
activities. Um, how about literature? Are you interested in literature?
Well, I'm interested in literature. Yes, I used to be a very good reader. Like from I used to be a very good reader of Bangla literature. My favorite writer. I don't know whether you have heard his name or not. That is Sharath Chandra. I don't know.
Pardon?
And yes, his name is Sharath Chandra.
This is
I
the
don't
first
know
time
whether.
I hear his name. I would like to.
Did you see the movie Devdas, Indian movie?
If you kindly write his name and the title of that movie to me on WhatsApp, I'll be happy to learn more or learn.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Apart from him, you must have heard about Rabindranath Tagore.
Yes, he's a world classic. Yes.
Yes, one of the best, um, the one of the best book I have ever read is Shesher Kobita, written by Rabindranath Tagore. I don't know whether you have read it or not.
I,
Have
I'd be
you?
happy if you also write this title. I mean, to so that I can add them to the written introduction of our interview on YouTube. Okay?
Okay. Apart from that, yes, in terms of yeah, writing, I mean, in terms of um, book, I also love to read books in the other writer like did you have you ever heard of Kazi Nazrul Islam? He's our national poet.
No.
Oh, he's our national poet. I also read his book, and contemporary writer. In terms of contemporary writer, I have I have read so many writers' book. Like you have visited Bangladesh, right? In the literature festival,
Yeah,
lit
Poetry
festival,
Festival,
or
early
or, or
1980s.
organ or organized by Bangla Tribune,
I guess so.
Jemcon Group.
Uh,
So
National
you must
Poetry
heard.
Festival. It was early February, I think it was.
Yes, I have so many. I mean, I love to read books. If you tell me some good books name, I it will be easily. I mean, I would love to tell their names rather than any particular writer because I'm a fan of a very good books rather than any particular writers. I cannot be biased with someone. Uh, I'm a fan of a good books or good writing rather than a particular writer or any particular person.
Very good. Yes, being open is wonderful, of course. Um, um, and uh, what is on your
Now,
agenda now? What are you working on?
oh,
What would you like to write?
in terms of reading, now I love to read autobiography.
Oh yes,
Maybe just because
yes,
I love to read people's experience, how they have gone in that position, what the obstacle they face, how they reach. I just love to read them. Now my one of my favorite items of reading is reading autobiography.
I agree with you. I also enjoy reading autobiographies, um, and yeah, personal experience, how one evaluates life.
Oh, I have missed another thing. I love to read the book which is related to Sufism.
Yes,
Did you heard about Lalon in Bangladesh?
no,
Oh, you must. Then, if you like Sufism, you must like him. He's one of the great people. He's one of the great humanitarian people. He believes in inclusive society. He doesn't believe in distinguish people in terms of the religion or any caste.
yes, wonderful. Uh, I'll thank you for mentioning these names and titles. Uh, when you write an article or when you write anything, do you usually prefer to write in the morning, or anytime, or at night? Do you have a s-
Well,
program?
for my writing, I mostly write at night. Night is the time when I enjoy writing because of the calmness and quietness. That and another problem is my writing. When I start writing. I cannot just stand up or I cannot just left it undone. When I write, I have to finish it up, no matter how long it takes. I cannot just left it half done.
I
And
see.
even it happens. Just today I'm writing something. The output is today I'm writing something. What happens? if I somehow I left it undone, and tomorrow when I'll start the next part, it it does not, I cannot go on that thought level which I had yesterday. I don't know why. So when I start something, I finish it, no matter how long it takes.
I see. Very good. By the way, in Bangladesh, I met a very good poet, a good friend of mine, Moom Rahman. Um, he writes wonderfully, and he also has translated Beckett's Waiting for Godot, and I translated with a friend of mine from French and English into Turkish. And Moom Rahman, he translated Beckett into Bangla. He's a very good poet. Um, when you write, do you start with pen or pencil and paper, or do you directly start with the computer?
No, when I write, before writing, I have to take 15 or 10 minutes deep thinking. I just try to figure out what will be my line of argument, because most of the writings are for the newspaper, or it based on the social or political issues. So before I start writing, I just try to figure out what will be the, I went for a deep thought, or then I just try to figure out what I'm going to write, how I'm going to write, what will be the my line of argument, and how I will conclude. After the whole process done, when I get sure that what I'm going to write and how I will start and how I'll end, if I get satisfied with my thought, if I get satisfied with my line of argument, if I get satisfied my uh, the writing process, then I start writing. And when I start writing, I try to focus on my writing. As I said before, I try to finish it up, no matter how long it takes.
Yes. Um, do you before publication, do you share it with one or two friends and ask their opinions?
Well, not the full write-up. I just try to figure out. I just try to discuss to one of two very close of friend regarding the line of argument. Even I when I write the political or social thing, I just try before I write. I read a lot. I read the um, uh, opposite comment or opposite ideology also, because I have written based on one line of argument. There must be hundred of line of argument which contradict my argument. So I try to learn. I try to read those as well, as so that I can enrich my line of argument by reading the contradictory or the opposite line of argument.
Mhm.
So before I write, I talk to people. I try to realize what they think. Even there are some people which preserve my opposite argument, or which they do not agree with my argument, but still I try to listen them, so that I can reach my argument, and I can write something which can be beneficial to the human, or which can be beneficial to the people.
Yes. Um, um, uh, do you write down your memories or what happened that day, this day, like a diary, or sometimes do you take notes about your life? And because someday you will probably want to write your autobiography.
No,
And
I'm not that much of famous, by the way.
being famous or not, that's not important, I think. You are living as a young intellectual, concerned, sensitive. Your life is important. Everybody's life is important, but many people do not. uh, write about their lives, and we need to. And at least you can read in the future what you have written today about yourself, your thoughts. You are also important.
Yes.
So I hope, and I always encourage people to write. Um, it may be memoirs, a few words, a few thoughts. You write articles, books, um, also stories, etc. And everybody can write, I think, but many people block themselves, unfortunately. Um, and the Bangla alphabet is fascinating. It's so visual. It's beautiful. Um, do you like your alphabet?
Yeah, I do. I do. Why not? I'm very much patriotic. I'm very much. I mean, I love my country. As I said, my father fought for this country. So I believe in the spirit of liberation war. So why shouldn't I? I love every single things in my country.
Yeah, but
Apart from the
yes,
apart from some reactive group or communal group. I don't like the communalism, or I don't like the um, uh, radicalism. Apart from that, I love every inches of my countries.
yes. Um, I find the Bangla people very warm, direct, sincere. I felt myself at home when I was in Dhaka, psychologically. And then my DNA test showed that I have uh, at least 2% of Bangla DNA.
How did you test it?
Well, there are scientific technological companies. They take a sample, you send them sample uh, from the saliva, and they analyze, uh, you know, the ancestors, where they were from, what generations. And my DNA from Far East to Far West, Europe, Middle East, South Asia, uh, including Punjabi, etc. Ch- China, Mexico. I found it. I find it
Wow.
very interesting. Yes, yes. All the major Middle East cultures.
So visited all over the world, your DNA.
My DNA, no, I mean, my ancestors, the background
Hmm.
is richer than I thought it was. I think against racism, DNA tests can be very helpful because everybody is synthesis or a mixture of various uh, human branches, let's say. Um, okay, we have just a few minutes left. And what would you recommend? You are young, but still, what would you recommend to young Earthmates? We are all Earthmates living on the same planet. From imagine that you are now addressing 8 billion people. Imagine that. And what would you like to recommend?
My recommendation is very simple. Don't be reactive. Try be respect to the others. Be respect to the every religion, every ideology. If you have give them respect, you'll get respect. And don't try don't attack anyone personally. Rather than if you do not like their ideology, if you do not like their any statement, be polite, become humble. Just believe that being humble or with love, you can achieve everything. Hate war cannot give you anything, and war or hate cannot be a solution. Rather than be communicative, talk to each other, try to say what they are saying, and if you have any problem, try rather than being reactive, try to dig into it
Yes.
and try to eradicate problem from their roots. So, and please, what I always appeal to everyone, that if anyone's gets derailed, don't hate him, rather than try to do something which will make him derail. Don't suppress him, don't push him away from your society. People people can do mistake, people can get derailed. So please try to do something or try to take necessary action which will take him to the correct way. And the mistake that we do not, if someone gets derailed, we try to hate him, we try to beat him up, we try to give him a bad sign, or any or angriness, or we become furious with him. It's not, it's you can it will not give you a solution.
Thank you.
So please
Yes.
be
Thank,
polite, be humble, and spread your love.
thank you so much. Human rights are really precious. I agree with you. I'm so happy to have become friends with you, and welcome to
Thank
the
you,
Earth
Tarek.
Civilization Network as well. And best wishes. We're together.
Inshallah, we're together. We'll work together. We'll
Yes.
work together to work with the
Yes.
organization.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Best wishes.